It's good, as always, to have a chance to talk with you again. I thank you for the opportunity. I want to tell you what I found running through my brain the last week or 10 days. A phrase that I've known for I don't know how long. Oh, what is so rare as a day in June? I decided, because it was in my mind so much, that I'd check to see who said it originally. I didn't know where I'd picked it up. There are phrases like that, that we've heard one place or another. And as I expected, I found it in a book of quotations. And here's the rest of it, or at least that portion of a poem from James Russell Lowell, part of our heritage of literature, and a part of the heritage of literature that I regret we're losing, I think, for a great many people. At any rate, here it goes. And what is so rare as a day in June? Then, if ever, come perfect days. Well, I have to tell you that this is September as I'm speaking these words to you, and that it was in this month of September that I was thinking of that phrase. It came to my mind so often in these last 10 days or so that I commented to my wife about it and observed that I know the poet wrote about it because a day in June can be so beautiful, so exquisite, so memorable, but that these September days were of such quality that they reminded me of the poem, because I was ready to say, what is so rare as a day in September? A nearly perfect kind of day. And then, having thought that, I remembered again one of my favorite verses from the Bible, probably a favorite of a good many of you too. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. I say to myself, and I say to you, there are some exquisite days in June and also in September. But there are also such glorious days in January or July, in August or February. The blessing of the days is not confined to the particular advantage of the season. I think one of the most fascinating poems I have come across in the years of my life is the poem that talks about the advantages of January. I've always been taken by the fact that the woman who wrote it was a woman who spent essentially her entire short life in the bed of invalidism. But she was commenting, as she wrote that poem, one of hundreds of hers that were published, that there's something good to be said for a day in January. It's more than just bills to be paid after Christmas, more than slogging through snow in a lot of the climates of the country. It is a special thing to be alive in January. And when I think of the fact that that woman lived her life, 30-some years was all, as I say, almost entirely in bed because of a disease that made her bones brittle so that almost anything could break a bone of her body, she found the joy of Christ in her life, whatever the season, and wrote some of the most delightful, light, laughing poetry you could find. And she did it because she had discovered what all of us need to know, that every day is a day the Lord has made. And the Lord has been making days for so long that you can count on it, that God knows how to do it. Furthermore, to the best of my knowledge, God hasn't made a bad day yet. This is the day the Lord has made. I say it to you right now in a day in September. Some of you along the way, in the nature of the kind of structure of the filming that's going on, will pick up this item and see it in October or December or next January or whenever. And I want to tell you that it will be as true then as it is now. What is so rare as a day in June or September or December. If it is the day the Lord has made, it is rare indeed. And every day, please God, is the day the Lord has made. May we by grace take hold of this day so that it shall be the kind of day God means for it to be, and that it can be if we will cooperate with the Lord God in letting it fulfill its potential. That's what's on my mind today, and I'm glad to share it with you. God bless.